This woman on the far left, I heard her speak a little bit. I think she's involved with them at the end. She was sounding just like one of them. At first, she sounded like a regular guy for a woman. There's Shanda and Amber. I think that's mom and daughter. Now I'm starting to think Amber and Stephanie are sisters. I don't know what's up with the last name of King. Maybe it's a fake name, King. It's really one of those other names that we see Shanda associated with. I think she married an older man when she was around 20, and it didn't work out. Her name changed at least twice, I think. Her name changed. They look very similar. Amber King, she looked different to me than Shanda. I never really put it together, but the other day I finally went, wait a second, what are the odds that her last name is King and Stephanie is a King too? I mean, maybe Shanda is their aunt? I think that's Magnus. That's the Magnus guy. They let him speak. And Mindy was always in the background on video. It was weird. It was really lame. Look, there's like no one there. That's Ford Fisher. And the guy in the back, I think he's also affiliated with the show. You can see a bit of Glory Jones on the right. Ford Fisher linked to Alex Jones, Tim Pool, all that transhumanism shite he got into. It's bizarre. It was total gaslighting by Fisher. He was pro putting stuff into our bodies to hook us up to computers. It seemed that way anyway. A few of them were wearing masks. There was a bit more of the mask use. Some, or most, were definitely still flaunting it as much as they could. Others seemed to go with the masks. Okay, there's Jimmy Dore, one of his recent shows. He was making fun of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez for being dramatic. Really upset me that the dive people attacked her for taking psychiatry pills. I noticed that with Cortez before. These people are obviously knowledgeable in my shtick, exposing their racket. That's not a coincidence that the dive people were basically saying Cortez has tardive dyskinesia from psychiatry pills. They're called neuroleptics. I noticed that. I mean, I'm noticing it all over the place. She has it on the level of a Kate Middleton. It's early stages. Franco Analysis has early stage tardive dyskinesia. The Allie person, she's starting to get it pretty bad. Jimmy Dore is done. I don't know how anyone can stomach looking at that loser's face. These are all fakes. I noticed he was right in the thick of the TYT stuff. He spit into Alex Jones's face. Jimmy Dore and Graham Elwood are proverbial COINTELPRO agents. They're at the top of the pyramid. Lee Camp is at the top of the pyramid. Alex Jones was at the top of the pyramid. Joe Rogan, right at the top. Here we go. This is the Frank analysis. The guy in the bottom right, he seemed different from the other three. He didn't seem to have issues with involuntary movements. He looks to have a normal shaped body. If you look at Frank analysis, you can see that he probably was on steroids and he comes across as military. Allie in the bottom left acts like she was in the military. There's just something about the military people. You can feel it. You can sense it. The Glory, Franco, and Allie were doing that nodding, that fake helping the other person along the journey of the podcast type of stuff with the nodding I keep saying. But the guy in the bottom right corner didn't seem involved in any of that. I don't really care, and I might be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong about those other three. That's it for the screenshot portion. This shouldn't take too much time. They're making fun of AOC's face. The hypocrisy of that made it so bizarre. Frills, Sarah Frills, the one who harassed Nina Turner, is she related to Misty? I don't just say these types of things. Redneckonomics, Amber, have the same last name. They look like Shanda. Redneckonomics and Shanda have extremely similar facial expressions. Jimmy Dore made a joke today I heard where he's asking Ron Placone if he's his son. It's possible. They look kind of similar. But that type of thing can backfire, as it did when I thought Unirock and Chad Lilly might be the same person. That was just like feeding the blog. You can go to Stolen Shtick Dollar for that story. I thought Natural Progressive might be related to Girl Town. My famous one is H.A. Goodman with Melvin Goodman. Okay, I made a cat joke I should apologize for. I said the cat likes me or something. That was stolen from Bernie. Remember he said, on a good day my wife likes me. Something like that. I miss my stamp collection. I'm tired of cyber sleuthing these people. I have a few timestamp styled thingies I can add from the notes. These were taken yesterday or today. This thing was going on today, but I had eye surgery. It went pretty well. It's still going to take time to recover. I'm still going to have to wear glasses. I've got a convo couch. There seemed to be a Freemason sign flashed. I don't just mention that stuff to make myself look like a kook. People who flash those symbols tend to be affiliated with police or military. It's that simple. The person I wrote the note, a person seemed to turn that Freemason symbol into the thumb handshake thing. But I have a question mark, and we'll see how that pans out when we go to the video. It'll either be obvious this is true or not. They're trying to minimize the COINTELPRO nature of their project. They go a bit extra goofy to see who are the real targets. But it backfires. It seems a bit idiotic to make it so obvious that they're COINTELPRO. Sometimes this is very hard for me to wrap my mind around. They might simply be incompetent. They're attempting something so immoral that it could be impossible for it to succeed. They're trying to pin themselves as the alternative to the MSM, the mainstream media. They all got plugged by Elwood. I got written down again, the dive attacking AOC's face. I have to definitely get some video of that to share. That's outrageous hypocrisy. For the Convo Couch video where they're saying that their footage got stolen, they want us to think about the MSM stealing the footage. They quickly changed the subject to Russia. I don't care. These people are always trying to get us to care.
Let's put on our tinfoil hats here, shall we? Just for a second.
Oh, I keep my candy.
Yeah, I know.
I forgot mine at home, damn it.
Yeah, I just, when I was watching this interview, and you'll see it in these clips, didn't AOC seem like she was like just rushing or just so supercharged, speeding through this thing? Did you?
My first thought as a bartender, as a recovering drug addict, as an all-around party girl for most of my life, she's on something. Her way her mouth is moving, she can't stop touching her face. She's very flighty with her eyes. I would say she's probably on some kind of pharmaceutical if I had to guess. I don't think that she'd go do street drugs, but you know, when you're working all night, a lot of professionals now are taking Adderall and Ritalin.
Okay, here's something where I'm going to want myself to put in some footage. I've got in parentheses ties to FBI, ties to national security state. Usually that's telling myself that they self-triggered themselves.
Yeah, but what I mean by that is where, like, what intelligence report, who's doing the investigation? Because when it came to Russiagate, they were talking about 17 intelligence agencies. Well, these intelligence agencies have ties to, like, the national security state. They have ties to the FBI. So it was like the FBI investigating itself.
They're not on screen too much during this portion of it. Someone says the FBI investigating itself. They use a small screen. Maybe that doesn't matter. I've got another timestamp in this same area of time. She's shaking. Sophie must be shaking in this segment. I don't really understand my notes. Right here, there's something I wrote about WikiLeaks. Oh, so I wrote WikiLeaks for the time. And then I noticed Fiorella was bouncing around and she's shaking. And then I think that's when I put down this new phrase I found called involuntary shaking tremors or involuntary body tremors. I've got that these people are a boring version of the Raw story days in regards to Larissa Alexandrovna, Ron Breinart, and Brad Blog, all that stuff. These people are like the poor man's version of those Raw story days with that hoax and they did in the past, the fake news of the past.